Hi, this is Pete's Secret Garden, part 2. Last time we had a look at the summer house. I remember there's 10 gardens here, so we'll see if we can look at 3 of them today. First off, we'll have a look at these beehives. There's 3 beehives here. I thought I did all right last year. I got 30 pounds of honey from one hive, and I was telling a chap from York about it, and he then told me that he got 450 pounds of honey from his beehive, which overlooked an oilseed rape field. So that put me in my place. And just see this, it's a complicated business, is beekeeping. I've read a lot of books about it, and then they go and do something, and I think, I didn't say that in the book, what are they doing that for? And I obviously are reading books that I haven't read yet. Anyway, this one's doing very well. In fact, it's doing so well that they're starting to make a queen cell on one of the frames, which means that they're getting ready to swarm because they've got overcrowded. So I'm going to have to try and split this colony. That means finding the queen, which isn't easy because there's 20,000 bees in there. But I did manage to find it the other day and put some yellow paint on its back. The queen's, it's a bit different to the other bees. It's got a longer abdomen. It's a bit more like an earwig shape, really. It's quite interesting at the moment because on their back legs they've got little pollen sacs, and all pollen is different colours. So I've noticed that some of the pollen sacs have got orange pollen in, bright orange. And I know from that, this time of the year, they'll have gone to the dandelions. Then there's some that are bringing in green pollen. That's come from crabapple trees, which are just opening up in blossom now. And then there's some with pale yellow flowers on them, pollen on them, and they've been to eating apples, probably our Bramley apple tree. So I know just where they've been. Anyway, this garden is just a small garden, mostly roses. In June is the month for roses, so that'll be a lot of old shrub roses there. By the side of the summer house, this is the crabapple tree, which will have the green pollen on that the bees are taking now. They'll get lots of pollen from the flowers in the garden, but most of the pollen they'll get from the trees. Those trees there, tiny little flowers will appear on those sycamores, smaller than we even notice. But for a bee, there's a mountain of honey in those trees. So we'll go along here, leave this little garden with its beehives, and enter another garden. This one here is a formal pond garden, enclosed with conifer hedges all round. I'll go and sit down here and see if we can find some company. Come on! Come on! Oh, here they are. Now these, I've got a couple of hens here and a very fine cockerel. That's a Welsh summer cockerel there. He's a big handsome chap. But this little chap here is the one I wanted to tell you about. This is a gold-laced Seabright. He was bred by someone well, this breed was 200 years ago, Sir John Seabright. He spent 20 years trying to perfect the perfect bantam. I think he's done a good job as well. I think he managed it. Every feather is laced with black, and his little wings droop down, his tail's upright, and although he's a small, tiny little fella, he's very bright and alert. I'm going to try and find a mate for him and try and breed these. They're not easy apparently, but he's a lovely little fella. I'm looking across the pond. We've got a statue there at the back. Always have a focal point at the end of a view. So we'll leave these birds here and go and have a look at another garden now. I've only got 2 hens, but they're hybrids, so they lay more eggs than true breeds. We get usually a couple of eggs a day from them. They lay well over 300 eggs a year each. They cost £15 each. So you get your money's worth. Now if we go into this garden, now we're going into an azalea garden. This is just azaleas here. They're just about to open up. Go down to this seat here and then look back at them. In another week or two, there'll be a blaze of colour in this garden. Rhododendrons are pleasant, but when they're over, the foliage is a heavy dark green for the rest of the year. But with the azaleas, you've got a lot of autumn colour often, and a brighter leaf to look at. Next time, I'll go down here and have a look at this outbuilding here and into some more gardens. But that's it for now. Until next time.